Welcome back, everyone. We are live across the world and across the beautiful United Kingdom. It is Monday, the 9th of February, 2026. And this is my second live stream on the day. But this evening, I am joined by the king, the governor. I'm joined by the boss. I'm joined by the overlord of the British political scene. It is the one, the only. Ben Habib can't turn up. It's Richard Inman. How you doing, Richard?
He's so funny, isn't he? I am the Gandalf. I am the Gandalf with this beard. People were admiring my beard at the weekend, Paul, and I am now the Gandalf of the of Advanced Party. I'm the old white sage.
I did have a WhatsApp message. It's still on my phone, Richard, so I'm not lying. I could prove it. I did have a message live from the event that said I didn't know Papa Smurf had joined Advanced UK.
Father Abraham had 7 sons.
There you
do you
go.
not remember the little Smurf song, Father Abraham?
No, if I'm honest. No. I was never a fan. Richard, good evening. You are fresh back.
Well, that was a put down to all the people in blue, wasn't it?
What? All the people Paul the Papa Smurfs?
The blue people, the Smurfs.
Oh, the Smurf. I'm not into them, mate. Never into blue myself. Richard, you're fresh back from the Advanced UK.
I'm not fresh, mate. I'm not fresh at all, but I'm back.
Yes, that's probably fair enough, to be fair. But you're back. But listen, look, we got so much to talk about tonight. This could be a long one. You might even, I'll tell you what, it's going to be so long tonight, Richard, you might even fall asleep by the end of it.
I normally fall asleep after 5 minutes, you, Paul. So,
thank you very much.
It's almost a cert, isn't it, mate? You know,
that's usually only when we're in each other's proper company, not when we're live online.
That's that rehypnol you keep using on me, Paul. I've told you about that.
Yeah, mate, it is what it is, Richard. It is what it is. So, look, Richard, we've got some good news and we got some bad news. The good news is that Slippery Starmer, the lying, slippery, conniving, horrible, treacherous bastard, is finally on his way out. I don't think there's any doubt about that. That's the good news. The bad news is by the end of this week, this thing could be our Prime Minister. It is very, very likely he's on the cards. Underneath her, I've got registered to vote. What I should have there is the Samaritans number, shouldn't I, really?
Well, mate, I mean, is she about to throw herself in the river there? Is that what's going on there? Is that sort of is she about to capsize?
She's puffing on something. I'll tell you what, mate, there won't be any. The good news is it keeps the great whites away from Brighton. That's what it does. You got to laugh, otherwise you cry, wouldn't you? You got to laugh.
Well, it could be worse, Paul, because I mean, we could be getting David Lammy.
I don't even. Do you know what? I just don't think that's on the cards, mate. I don't even think that the Labour Party are stupid enough to bring in someone with the IQ of a bunny rabbit. And I think
that's very insulting to bunny rabbits.
I was going to say, I think that's not being, you know. We used to have a saying at school, this man's got the mind of a guppy or a goldfish. And I I'm not even sure that he's there really, but we'll see. But I mean, look, before we get into the advanced stuff and people are coming in as we speak, good evening to you all, one and all. Thank you for joining me again for the second time today. Lovely to see everyone. What do you make of this latest nonsense with our supreme leader?
What, Ben?
No, our supreme leader.
You're on about Chairman
Chairman Keir.
Chairman Keir, the great leader. The great leader. No, I mean, look, I think he's toast. I think he's probably going to die in his sleep, a bit like Uncle Joe did and Muhammad. So I think he's toast. Like all dictators, every dog has his day, and it's the problem we've got is, Paul. None of them are any different. And this is the thing. They all need to go. And I'll be brutally honest with you. I would reckon if we get a decent government, which is only going to be Advanced UK, if we get a decent government anytime soon, there's a lot of people going to prison.
Oh, I believe that to be the case, Richard. And, look, for me, Keir Starmer's not going to lose his job because of all the things that have gone wrong that we've seen right in front of our very eyes, the mistakes, the lies, the turning of his back on the WASPy women, our veterans, heating allowances, all the usual bits and pieces that, you see every day about Keir Starmer, and the fact that the man is just a complete and utter moron. I mean, the guy went off to communist training camp when he was a youngster. I mean, you don't get much more of a red flag than that, right? But for me, his career, his political career, and his legacy was set in his statement after Southport.
Yeah, totally.
The moment he opened his mouth after Southport, he will forever be remembered as the man who turned his back, not only turned his back on, but decided it was a good idea to jail and vilify concerned mums and dads, nans and granddads, people like yourself, me and you, Richard, and, you know, God bless them, parents and grandparents across the country. That bastard set upon us. And we will never, ever forget what he did. Peter Lynch, Lucy Connolly, and many, many, many others.
Well, I think of that train driver, Paul. You know, he sang a song about a religion that he didn't believe in, which, you know, in my book, if somebody insults a religion I believe in, I'll say, well, that's your opinion. That's okay, because that's what tolerant people do. And because he said hurty words about the religion that cannot be named, the Voldemort religion, he ended up getting, I think, 2 years in prison. Now, I don't know if he's out now. Hopefully he is. Hopefully.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think we'd have heard if he hadn't. But that fella, he was a train driver, totally clean record, went to Downing Street after that horrendous massacre because he was incensed about what happened. Now, I'll be honest with you. At the time, I said to people, do not go and do a demo that's going to potentially go nasty, because the police are just waiting for that to go and pick people up. But that's another story. But anyway, he sang a song, and he got 2 years in prison for singing a song, and he was caring for his disabled wife, right? That's what he was doing. Okay. So he went from basically living a quiet, retired life, looking after his wife, to goodness knows what he's been through in prison with those absolute savages that are taking over our prisons and turning them into breeding grounds for religious extremists. That's what he went to. And he's a normal guy. He's me or you, Paul. That could have been me, could have been you. Literally 61-year-old, our age group, right? And he's banged up for 2 years for singing a song. That's what Keir Starmer's responsible for. And that's why we need a clean sweep. Because Jenrick, the great hope, I was going to say the great white hope, the great hope of the Reform Party, he threatened to do exactly the same with us 2 years before when we were doing protests outside a hotel in Northern Ireland. So we've just got to realise what we're dealing with, and we've got to realise all of them have to go. And there's only now
every single one of them.
Paul, after this weekend, I only see one solution. And I'm going to say something. Forget about Rupert Lowe. Forget him. Forget him. Not interested. The only solution that we've got to our problems politically is Advance UK. I'm that single-minded about this. Nothing else is going to work. And after seeing that policy launch, the energy in the room and everything that was going on, I know we're not onto that yet, but I'm being a bit premature. I'm getting ahead of myself. And
that's unlike you, Richard.
Well, depends, doesn't it?
I mean, look, come on, mate. We're 9 minutes into the stream, and I actually have spoken twice.
9 minutes? That's a long time for me, mate.
Look, Richard, for me personally, and we will get into the advanced stuff later on because a lot of people are here for that tonight, but we've got to talk about the big news of the day, which is, you know, the snake is on his way out. I mean, I don't think there's any doubt about that. But I just want everyone to know out there, everyone to know that's watched my channel for the last 2 years, everyone that has listened, thank you for doing that to me over the last 2 years, and to Richard and to all my other guests. I will never rest, ever. The end for Starmer in his job as Prime Minister is only the beginning of the cause, the fight, the chase that will see him where he belongs, and that is behind bars for treason, in my opinion. And I think there's a lot of evidence to show that he has been treasonous towards the British people. He's betrayed our children. He's betrayed the parents. He's betrayed, you know, ordinary mums and dads right up and down the country, nans and granddads, as I said. What he has done has been nothing short of causing this nation mental health issues, mental health problems. He has done more to ruin this country in the just under 2 years that he's been in charge than anyone in my lifetime. I think anyone in British history. I think the man is vile. And there's only one place for him. But let's not forget as well, this is something else I want to say and get this off my chest while I remember, Richard, right? I don't know exactly how many Labour MPs there are in the House. Do you know off the top of your head?
I haven't got a clue, Paul. North of 300, I don't know. I'd be guessing.
Every single goddamn one of those that voted against that child grooming gang inquiry, their legacy, I warn you now, is also written in stone. In 5 years' time, if God is still giving me breath, I will still be naming those people.
I think we need to publish it every time there's a by-election, every time there's an election. It needs to be published so people can see the ones that... And never forget what Starmer said as well. That Starmer said it wasn't necessary, it wasn't needed. It was basically an agitation by the far right, to have this inquiry. That's what these people think. That's what they think of white British working class girls that were systematically, will not use the word because obviously I'm very aware of your channel, systematically abused by members of the Pakistani Muslim community. Let's be very specific.
Do you know what, Richard? I couldn't give a shit about the channel right anymore in the respect that we're going to call it out for what it is. Rape gangs. That's what they were. Rape gangs.
Absolutely. Totally. And it's something that, I worked on for many years with, a team of very, very dedicated people when we made those films. And the truth is that we only scratched the surface. We had hundreds of suspects, and many of the people associated with those suspects are very high profile and prominent Muslim politicians now, or wannabe politicians. These are people that were directly connected with people that featured in our films. Now, I'm not going to name people because, again, I am very aware of you not getting sued for libel. Again, they can sue me for libel if they want, or slander. The interesting thing is, Paul, we made those films about the rape of Britain. And since we made those films, not one person that was featured in those films has sued Tommy Robinson for slander or libel. Not one. Now, we all know how litigious the left are and the Islamists are, right? Why has none of them tried to sue anyone that was involved in making those films?
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. Because it was true.
Yeah.
Because it was true. And we shone a light where nobody else... And of course, listen, it's amazing. Everybody wants to make films about this now. Rupert Lowe's going to make a film about it, apparently. GB News are making films about it.
But late to the party.
Late to the party. And when we did it, we were ignored, we were vilified, we were demonized. But you know what? I know the truth. I know the truth about what happened to those young women. Very, very brave survivors. And if anything comes out of all of these inquiries, it must be that those girls that survived are given a place in history, along with the men that fought the Battle of Britain, along with the men that stormed the beaches of Normandy. Because what those girls have suffered, and then to have the courage to stand up and tell their stories so that this didn't get covered up. They sat there publicly while Tommy filmed them and told their stories. Those women are heroines. Simple as that. Simple as that. Not just putting their lives on the line, putting everything on the line. Everything on the line, because they know, that they're living among a mafia.
Yeah.
Let's get this right. They're living among something that's way worse than what the Italian mafia ever were. And that mafia runs up and down the spine of this country. It's involved in prostitution. It's involved in rape. It's involved in drug dealing. It's involved in people trafficking. It's involved in money laundering. They're the ones mainly responsible for the heroin trade. They're massively getting into the cocaine trade now. Why are they still allowed to operate? Why are those gangs still able to operate up and down this country? Because the government is absolutely terrified of them. Absolutely terrified.
And you're the one, by pointing it out, Richard, you're the one that's committing the crime.
Oh, absolutely. In the government's eyes, absolutely. Community cohesion and all that old son. Absolute nonsense. But here's the thing, Paul. It's never wrong to do right. And listen, Funny you say
that. I made a little video earlier on, and that's exactly what I said, Richard.
Yeah. But putting all that to one side, Paul, let's have some positivity about what happened at the weekend. Let's talk about that, man. Yeah.
Yeah, just before we go on to that, I just want to finish off what I was saying about all those MPs. I want every one of those Labour MPs, parents, mums, dads, uncles, aunties, sisters, children, I want them all to know that your family member that voted against that child rape gang inquiry, that is their legacy for the rest of their lives. That is what they will be remembered for. And we will make sure that that's what they're remembered for. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, but not only that, Paul, just give me 2 seconds, mate. Actually, hang on. Just keep talking then.
I mean, it just makes me so goddamn angry. It's, you know, what has been allowed to happen to those children, and what happened after the Southport event was just rubbing salt into the wounds of absolutely everyone in this country. And I think it's a testament to our nation. It's a testament to the people of this country of how tolerant and how peaceful we actually are, that the goddamn place hasn't burnt down by now, Richard, right? I mean, any other country in the West would probably be, you know, there'd probably be riots everywhere. How many people would put up with this shit? But we have done it. We've put up with it. We've stayed the right side of the law. But now it's our turn. This lot have got to go. Starmer going's not enough. We need a general election. This lot have got to go.
Well, that's why I wrote that song, Where Are the Men of England? I don't think tolerance is anything to be admired, because it's cowardice. Those people that did that, they should have been dealt with. The people that have murdered and raped and abused those little girls, they should have been dealt with. That's all I'm going to say. And they weren't dealt with by anybody. Not by the legal system, not by the men. Where were the men of England? And I've said this before. A little girl in Ballymena was indecently assaulted, right? The town burnt to the ground, right? The men that did it, gone. The families of the men that did it, gone. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not inciting anything. I'm not saying that people should break the law. We need a strong government that'll do that for us. But when you don't have a strong government that does it, you need men that will stand up and do what's right. That's what we need.
I don't think you'll get many people disagree with that, Richard, if I'm honest with you. I really don't. Right, let's move on to something more positive. Just before we do, thank you, Jack. Cheers, mate. And SD, thank you. Hi, Richard. I'm the SD that gave you a big hug at the
yes,
event.
yes.
I hope you've had a bath since. And to say,
well, I bathe all the time, and that's a very nasty thing to say to one of our subscribers. No, SD, it was lovely. It was. Do you know what? If you're in the comments and you came up and gave me a hug. You can go and get a bath after that. There's not a problem with that. So you might have to use Dettol. But yeah, let us know in the comments if you came up and said hello. Paul didn't make it. I
was going to say the government are actually rolling out vaccines for that very soon. I'll just finish off his super.
But SD, it was honestly, it was lovely. It was lovely seeing it. I want to just say something. You know, I'm not sure if I can name the lady. But just finishing off on the grooming gangs, one of the survivors. No, Paul, I'm being serious about this.
Oh,
mate.
Sorry, Rich.
Yeah,
sorry.
One of the young ladies from that had been groomed very bravely went down to London and gave evidence at that inquiry last week. And I think, you know, I'm not going to mention her name, but she needs to be saluted for what she did. Because I don't know if I can mention names, so I'm just being very careful about what I say. But
probably not.
Yeah, but you know, and that, you know, again, these women are reliving this every single day, and the damage that those monsters have done to them. You know, those, and do you know something as well? A lot of time we focus on what the establishment did wrong, and what the police did wrong, and what the social services did wrong, and what school teachers did wrong, and quite rightly so. That's really important. But you know who's getting a free pass? The filthy, dirty, disgusting monsters that carried out those crimes. And they need to be arrested, rounded up, and sent back. If they were born in this country, send them back to where their grandparents were born. I don't want any of those monsters rotting in our prisons. I'd rather they're rotting in a prison in Pakistan. I despise them with every fibre of my being. I have no respect for them. I have no time for them. They've got to go. It's time to clean house.
Yeah, I agree entirely, Richard. Also, I think the people that have had a free pass are the police and the councillors that turned a blind eye. They've had a free pass, saying they're catching up with.
Yeah. Well, this, of course, I mean, the councillors, many of them are related to the ones that are doing the crimes.
Yeah.
Along with the MPs.
Our day will come, Richard. Our day will come, God willing. Right, let's get on to the weekend. Take us right back to the very start, Richard. How did your day begin? Give us your first-hand experience.
Well, I mean, I was up early because I was doing a recce for the event on the 16th of May. I'm not going to say any more about that, but we have one amazing event coming up on the 16th of May. It is going to be, if you haven't booked for the 16th of May, get it booked. It is going to be a day you will never forget. I can absolutely guarantee that. And we were just going through some of the infrastructure, what's going to go where, and all that sort of thing. Absolutely, the plan is just second to none. It's absolutely amazing. So yeah, that's how I started the day. And again, it's like everything with these things, things chop and change and things are moved about and all the rest of it. But the plan that we're working on, it's massive. It's massive, way bigger than what we did last time. And I believe, Paul, I honestly believe we're probably going to double the numbers. I really do.
Let's hope so.
And honestly, if you're not booked to go on the 16th, get yourself booked. It's going to be absolutely mega. It's going to be mega. So that's how I started the day. Obviously with a massive fried breakfast as well. And then from there down to the Emmanuel Centre. I've never been in this place before. It's a church and massive place, great big building. Of course, across the road, I don't know if we can drop this video in, Paul. We'll not show all of it. We don't need to show all of it. I don't know if you can allow me to drop that in. Is it going to work?
Is that the left one? Yeah, shall I pop it in?
Yeah, stick it in, mate. Stick it in.
No, don't worry.
Just be careful.
Yeah, I'm very careful. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, sorry.
No, more than happy to do it. It's just the road.
Don't worry, I'll look at it.
Just make sure nobody gets it.
Hi, good to see you. I'm going to go across here. No, that's all right. Anyway, how are you doing, mate? Good to see you, mate. Here's a good one. I want to see this guy.
Hello.
All right, good to see you.
Bless them. They're not well, are they?
They're not well, mate. They're not well. I mean, that guy must be getting paid for waving that Palestinian flag. He's not really motivated, is he? He's got his little flag on a twig. Yeah. Someone said, "There you go, son. We'll give you 20 quid. Just stand there and wave the Pally flag for half an hour." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we'll just stop. You see. Look at the hitman. The hitman's coming to take me out here. Won't you see this, Paul? The wee guy with the long hair. He doesn't know whether he's an Arthur or a Martha. He's on his way.
Sorry, get out of my space, mate. Get out of my space. It's in my space. You want to get my space? Don't you stop pushing me on the road. He got my space. He got my space. You saw it. I've got you on.
Straight away, there's 6 cops round me, dragging me away. And as far as I could see, I wasn't the aggressor there, Paul. I'm filming them.
No.
And look at the state of that. Look at the state of those two Muppets. Absolute mongrels. Absolute mongrels.
Well, I hope they're not. All I will say is I hope they ain't babysitting for anyone.
I mean, look That's a cracking frame there, isn't it? We'll just
tramps wearing those, whatever they call them, those rags around the necks and flying Palestinian flags. You're the anti-Semitic Holocaust deniers, not us. You're the ones that are the fascists. You're the ones that are the fascists.
You called me a coconut as well. That's racist too. He's
You're
not
the
calling me a
fascist.
racist.
Exactly.
He called me a coconut and he's a racist. You're the real racist. They're not. You are the racist.
oh, Shohab giving it loads.
You don't have to be wild.
But you coming and getting in people's faces, threatening people, and then when you get pushed, when someone stands up to you, your arse goes. You bottled it, didn't you? Because you're a pussy. Any time, mate. See if the cops weren't here. You'd shit yourself, mate. Simple as that. You know you would. No, I am. I know what I am, mate. Anytime, any place, big lad. Listen. Anytime, any place. Was there no Holocaust? It wasn't. Side organisation, Israel. In your heart, you love Jews. Well, why do you hate the Jewish state then? You can't love Jews and hate their Jewish homeland.
Because of there being an apartheid state.
They have voting rights. Do you know how many Jews live in Gaza? None. The only Jews that live in Gaza are soldiers. You see, you're out your depth, mate.
I believe in a free Palestine where Christians, Jews, Muslims, Druze, whoever can live in equality.
And this guy here, he's got what we call a pirate's dream, a sunken chest. That's when he's got a little sunken chest. You're a little girl with long hair. Right, I'm away.
That's how to deal with the left, Paul.
Did he just say that he believes in a free Palestine for Jews, Christians, and Muslims? He needs to have
and what was the other one he said? Jews, Christians, Muslims, and Druze. So all the people that are getting massacred in Syria, he thinks they're all going to be able to go and live in some Hamas-run paradise in the Gaza Strip. They're deluded idiots. I mean, to be honest with you, we're just sporting with them. I mean, there's no threat from any of those people. They couldn't beat the skin off a rice pudding, but it's good just to put them in the place a little bit and make the police do their job as well. Do you know what I mean? I mean, there was no threat from them whatsoever. I mean, but it's funny. It's just a bit of fun, you know. They're like hitmen from Mothercare.
Yeah, exactly. So, Richard, tell us, you arrived at the event. What was your initial impression when you got there? Who was there? Who did you meet? How was you received? Because you're a bit of a celebrity in your own right.
A celebrity in my own lunchtime. No, listen, do you know what? It was just like a family reunion. There was loads of people that we've known from the movement from day dot. Loads of new people, new faces coming in, which is great seeing new faces coming into politics. But you just knew everybody, and it was just such a friendly, warm atmosphere. It was a beautiful, beautiful event. Probably 1,000 people there, Paul. I mean, the place was rammed to the rafters. But it was great. It was really, really good. Don Keith was there. Got a chat with Don. Got a chat with Howard. Had to do it twice because I forgot to press record on the first go. Usual story. Total professional. But it was absolutely superb. Chatted to Ben, Floss, of course. And I tell you what, Floss has done an amazing job. An absolutely amazing job what she's doing. David Rhodes, all the people in the background who are working in the background who never get any credit for what they're doing. Absolutely kudos to them. And yeah, so it was really, really good, Paul. Really, really good. And of course, we'll look at some of the policies and what was said. I think the first video that's of Ben speaking, talking about culture, has now gone out on the Advance UK website. So it's all happening, Paul. And do you know what? After this weekend, right? And I didn't really have any doubts because I knew the ideology was sound. I knew what we believed was sound. But I was a bit worried about all the stuff, if Rupert starts a party and, can we do anything when reform seems to be in the ascendancy? If the British people, if those policies are let loose on the British people, I'm going to tell you something now. We're going to see a political, not just political earthquake, a political miracle. A political miracle, because those policies, honestly, Paul, it was bang, but there was standing ovation after standing ovation. You couldn't see it. I'll put my footage up later. I haven't got the chance to do it now. But every time I stood up and filmed, the whole audience were on the feet cheering, and just speaking to people, even people that aren't normally that have kind of tuned out to all this stuff and thought there wasn't any hope anymore, were going away from there filled with hope. And Ben's communication skills, second to none. And there might be a really, really big piece of news in the next few weeks about someone joining Advance UK, but we'll see if that comes off. But that's another story. That's one to put in your diary for 3 weeks' time.
Richard, I sat back here and I can confirm a couple of things officially tonight. First of all, there were well over 1,000 people at the event. It was sold out. Some extra tickets were made available. They were also sold out. And then there were still hundreds more applications. We just couldn't fit everyone in. Second thing that I can confirm tonight, I've had official confirmation that the streams were hacked.
Wow.
So the official streaming from the Advanced event on Saturday, 2 separate streams, the main one and a backup one in case anything happened to the main one, and both went down at precisely the same time. We can only wonder who was responsible for that, who was behind that. We won't, there's no point in getting involved in speculation, but there's a number of suspects, aren't there? There's a number of suspects. I wonder who has the most to lose by Advance succeeding. But it is what it is. You know, it is what it is. Thank God for Baraka and you know, people like Jeff who had their cameras there, and Reggie, etc.
Yeah.
So look, I mean, I've got the policies and I've got the bits and pieces here. They're probably going to be too long to go through, in all honesty. But I don't know if you want to have a look at any of these in particular, Richard. The Colts.
Well, but I think, do you know? I think to be honest with you, the best thing you can do, I don't know if you're going to do it, is actually show Ben speaking about it. I mean, you know, because Ben's. I mean, I don't know if you've got the videos there. I've got some. If you want me to pull them up, Ben's videos were absolutely phenomenal. You know, his videos, his speeches were just world class, Paul. Just world class.
Yeah. What I wanted to do is get the official videos, and I wanted to get them up, and we could discuss them as we play them. At this particular moment, I've not got them yet. Not got them on the back end of my system. But
let's have a little taste of them, Paul. Yeah, let's just have a little taste. This is. Let me just get. I think this is Ben talking about Northern Ireland. Let's just have a listen to this. So if you can put it on the screen there, Paul, and drop us out.
Is it up? Let's have a little look.
It's in the back.
Yeah, here we go.
In many ways, it made it worse. And I think all of you know that if we are still embedded, infected with the global order, we will never be able to put this country first. And there's something particularly bad about the withdrawal agreement, and many of you, all of you perhaps, have heard me speak about it before, which is the Northern Ireland Protocol. We have become... A lot of people think Northern Irish politics is a minority sport. It isn't. When a country puts a flipping border down the middle of itself and heaves off over 1 million citizens to a foreign power, subject to foreign laws adjudicated by a foreign court, you know that country has lost its way. The Northern Ireland Protocol is not just about Northern Ireland. It is about us rediscovering who the hell we are. Are we going to stand by our British brethren, or are we going to throw them under a bus? I know what I'm going to do. And we are going to get rid of the And there'll be a whole policy on how we're going to deal with the EU, none of which von der Leyen is going to much enjoy reading.
So that's basically that, Paul. Now that was buffering a little bit there, guys, because it's a very high resolution film, and it's obviously with going from my computer to Paul's computer is causing a few problems just with the way it was streaming there. It was nothing to do with the video, wasn't doing anything what Paul was doing. It's just literally the resolution of the film with the connections that we've got. But putting all that aside, we get the message. You're muted, I think, Paul.
I'll tell you what I'd say, Richard, right? This is the deal. When organisations or rival parties or whoever it is want to silence your message so much, so desperately, that message is worth listening to, right? Whether you agree with it or whether you don't, you want to hear what was said, right? Now, over the next few days, next couple of days, whenever, all these speeches of Ben's are going to be out there, including here on this channel. All I will say to you is listen to them, listen carefully, and share them with your friends and see what they make out. And then come back to me and say this is all a waste of time. Because if you believe what we believe, if you believe what Ben Habib is saying, if you believe in what he's saying, this cannot be a waste of time. This is just the start, the very beginning.
I agree, and what I mean, obviously we were talking about the 16th of May and the demo on the 16th of May. What I would ask everybody to do, if you went to the demo on the 13th of September, if you watched the demo online of the 13th of September, if you intend to go on the 16th of May, I'd ask you to do these three things. Join Advance UK, pay whatever it is, your 20 quid. I mean, it's going to cost a lot more when we come down to London for a day out. Pay your 20 quid for a year, join Advance UK, register to vote. Paul's got the link, or the domain of the link. There's a different domain up there. Different now. That's
there
gone.
you go.
So there we go. So register to vote. That's vitally important that you register to vote, because even if you don't want to vote for Advance UK, which I think everybody should, I'm totally partisan. I'm unashamedly partisan. I'm not an impartial journalist. I'm a total partisan journalist. And join Advance UK. Register to vote. Sign the pledge. The pledge is still a very important document. A lot of this came out of the pledge. A lot of the stuff that's coming out as policy came out of the pledge. And the reason that the pledge is still really important to sign, and it doesn't do anything, it just sits there, but the reason it sits there is it's there to call politics in this country to account. Because I think when you come to a political ideology and a political philosophy, which every political party must have, there's nothing better than that document, the pledge.org.uk. So that's all I'm asking everyone to do. If you were in London on the 13th of September, if you watched London on the 13th of September, if you're planning on going on the 16th of May, I love demos. I absolutely love doing demos. There's a great buzz. It's a bit like what we had on Saturday. This great family outing for patriots, right? But if we're not doing anything after that and getting politically involved, we are, I'm going to say it, pissing in the wind. Okay, yeah. We need to get political, and we need to do it fast. So we need to transfer that 2 million odd people that were at the demo and watched online into people who are actually going to put their X's in a box and make sure that we get real political change in this country. If we don't get political change in this country, there will be a conflict. If we do get political change in this country, there will be a conflict. But guess what? The government will be on our side in that conflict, and that's the difference.
100%, 100%. Boys and girls, I am on Dan Wootton tomorrow. Please give us some love over there whilst I'm live on Dan's show. It should be a good one. The inquiry has been completely blocked in Scotland. Vote Advance, stop the boats. Let's just get back into, I've got a couple more supers. Let's have a look. David Lunn, Islam equals atheist equals communist. Julie, Paul and Richard, I really look up to you both. Thank you very much, Julie. You might not look up to Richard as much. He's not as tall as me, but
I'm not sure about that, Paul. I'm just a little bit broader, so it makes me look a bit shorter.
That's what it is, mate. That's what it is. Ish, good evening. Good call last night, by the way. Richard never changed. Thank you for all the hard work.
No intention of changing. I'm too old to change.
Steve, I met Richard there. Hope you found Mike.
Yes, I did, mate. I did. Yeah, actually, do you know Mo, the YouTuber? You know Mo, yeah. And I was chatting to Mo, and we were taking the mick out the left. He says, "Come on, Mo, let's do a bit of an interview." Put the mic on him, right? Then wandered off and could I not find the mic, I couldn't find Mo. And I'm not being funny. There wasn't too many Chinese men in that audience, right? But I couldn't find him anywhere. It took the sharp eyes of one of the security men, John. Thank you again. Big shout out to John. John came up to me about an hour after I'd lost the mic and said, "There you go, there's your mic." And you know yourself, Paul, when you've got your DJI mics, you don't want to be losing one on a demo day or on an event day.
Yeah, yeah. Julie again, Richard the diplomat, love it. Oh, we related. I've got a message here from the one and only Howard Cox, who's obviously watching. Good evening, Howard.
Howard's going to be taking the mick out of me, I can tell you.
Is there anyone in the world that doesn't love Howard Cox? Come on. He says the organisation, delivery and reception of Saturday's event showed that we didn't need razzmatazz, fireworks or self-adulation, adoration. It worked because it was authentic, honest, and full of hope. What a great message.
And I tell you what, have you ever met, well, of course you've met Howard face to face.
Yeah,
Howard is a big lad. He's
a big lad, yeah.
He's a big lad. When you, it's like all of us, when we're sitting down, we just look like little old men. But Howard is a big strapping lad. I bet he's still got a good right hook on him. But a great guy, absolute gentleman. And he put up with me messing up the first interview. And so I did 2 interviews. I gave him a bonus interview at the end of the day. And he said, anytime he's going to come on my channel. He's not too sure about Thorpe anymore, but he's going to come on my channel anytime I want.
I tell you, Richard, have I ever met Howard? Listen, mate, I've got it up here. Whenever I see Howard at an event, I always stand behind him. No one's going.
Yeah, just in case anyone throws something.
Janine White, thank you, Janine. I met Richard and shook your wet hands. I'm not sure we want to know
well,
this.
Yes, I remember that, Jane. And remember, I did tell you they were wet because I just washed them, not for any other reason.
Okay. Well, it's great to meet you, and what a wonderful event onwards. And
it was likewise, Janine. Absolutely fantastic.
Good boy, hey, Starmer, how does it feel like being a traitor? Absolutely. Richard, the overwhelming feedback that I was getting, and I felt buoyed. I mean, look, I wasn't even there, and do you know how difficult it was for me Saturday, sitting there watching all my dear friends, people that mean so much to me, people that I've worked so hard with, people that we've had input with, people in the crowd that I'd love to shake their hand and say hello to them. It was really difficult for me being stuck out here on Saturday, but it made me very proud. But more than anything, gave me hope, gave me optimism.
Oh, you better believe it. Paul, I mean, I don't know how many I've done some great events down through the years. We've done some of the biggest demos in British history. They've been fantastic. But what that did on Saturday, Paul, was let us realise that, and we knew what we were doing. I was saying to someone on Saturday, this is the culmination of everything that we've done. Like this is we've been working on this for years and years and years, and this is finally what we've been looking for. It's like that old U2 song, I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Well, guess what? We found it on Saturday. We found what we're looking for. And just absolute, the hope, Paul, you're absolutely right. The hope was just phenomenal. And what we're going to do, Paul, next time, we are going to get you in, because it has to be before Advance UK gain power. But what we're going to do, we're going to put you in a burqa. Right, and we're going to smuggle it. Not a burger, just for any of those in
a burger would do. I mean, I'm more likely I'll be happy in a burger.
A bit of a Ronald McDonald, but we're going to put you in a burger and we're going to smuggle you in, Paul. So don't worry about it. We'll get you there next time.
Crafty Lars says Advance isn't ready yet. You're right. We're not ready yet, but come on board and help us get ready. That's what we need. We need positivity. We need action. We need the British people to stand up. And here is someone put in the chat right at the very beginning. Let me see if I can find that amazing comment right at the very beginning. It's probably going to be way too far back now. No, I can't see it. It's way, way back. I can't even remember what it was, but it was a brilliant message about hope and about the People's Party, a genuine party for the people at last. People that care, not your regular politicians. If we can go anywhere, there's going to be people like you and I, Richard, potentially in Parliament, standing up for our people. What would that feel like? What would that look like? Because you know what, mate? I tell you the difference between the right and the left. I would look after everyone. Right? I want to make sure. I'm a humanist. I want to make sure people are happy. I want to make sure they're safe. I want to make sure they're looked after. I would even look after the left, believe it or not, even though they don't deserve it. Fair to everyone.
Talking about part. I mean, I'll be brutally honest with you. I've no ambition to be an MP. I want to facilitate the party. I want to do everything I can to build the party. That might change, but at the minute, I just want to build it, and I want to, what's the old saying from the film? Build it and they shall come. Kevin Costner. But I would just do everything I can to build it, to get people to join, and also to make sure that if I'm on the outside, Paul, I can do more to call things to account and say, because I can be a critical voice as well, even though I'm a member of the party. If things aren't going the way I think they should be going, I know it sounds a bit egotistic, but I can say, well, actually, I don't think this is quite right. And I think it's good to have people like that. So from my point of view, I'm not really bothered about becoming an MP. I just want loads of people with an advanced rosette to become MPs. And they better be good people, and they better do the job that we're voting them in to do. Because if they don't, there'll be people like me calling you to account and holding your backside to the fire and saying, we voted you in to change things, Because do you know what will happen, Paul? See, when you do this, right, you get chances that come along and they're in it for fame. They're in it because they want to be MPs. They're not in it because they really care about the country. They're in it for me. They're in it for ego and for themselves. And everyone has an ego, but my prime motivation always has been, always will be, is to save the country. Yeah. That's why I'm doing this. And whatever I can do to help, I'll do it to help. There's a friend of mine that helps me out a lot, Ian. Ian's in the background. He does loads of stuff in the background. He never wants any plaudits, never wants any credit. And all Ian ever says to me is, do you know what, Richard? All I want to do is help. And he could be very, very smart guy, self-sufficient. He could be sitting on a beach somewhere, chilling out. But every time people call on him to help, he stands up and he plays his part. And that's what's going to save the country. The Ians, the Pauls, the Richards. So I don't care whether I ever become an MP. I'm literally not interested. All I want to do is get Ben into number 10. Ben for 10.
Toby says advance, and he's laughing. You're just handing Labour another term. Listen, Toby, look, you're entitled to your opinion. I'm not going to be rude to you. Welcome to the show. Thanks for leaving your comment. I disagree with you wholeheartedly. I'll tell you who's to blame here. I'll tell you who's to blame, Toby, shall I? Nigel Farage. Yeah. Nigel Farage is to blame for all of this. Nigel Farage
Tice,
had it
Yusuf.
all.
Yep.
Danny Kruger the other day doubled down on it all, Richard, didn't he? Danny Kruger.
I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed in Danny Kruger. Very disappointed. Very, very, very disappointed in Suella Braverman. Very disappointed because they must know what we know about reform, right? And about Nigel and about Zia Yusuf and about what the direction that party is going in really is. Okay, so Jerry, you're absolutely right. I'm going to savage anyone that gets in our way. I'm the attack dog, and I don't care. I'll keep snarling and growling and biting until we get to where we need to be.
Oh, Richard, your fan club's in tonight. Look,
I'm telling you.
Don't forget to hit the like button, everyone. Please do that.
And subscribe to Counter Media, right?
Yep.
Counter Media on YouTube.
Yeah. Let's just have a look through the chat here. So overall, Richard, on a sort of 10 out of 10 basis, what would you have given the day? Let's forget Ben's speech for a moment. What would you give the day?
I would have given it a full 10 if it wasn't for the streaming issues, but obviously the streaming issues were down to the hack. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I mean, Paul, it was Paul. I am one of the most critical people when it comes to public speakers, right? It's one of the few gifts I've got. I know how to throw a speech together, and because I've got a big gob. And the speeches were every single speech. I went, yeah, that's a good speech. That's a good speech. That's Leo Kearse. Oh my goodness, he is such a funny guy. I mean, it's like that line from Goodfellas. He really is a funny guy. I mean, he's Joe Pesci. He's hilarious, and just Rolls-Royce. They had an ex-parachute. He's a para-engineer speaking. We had obviously Richard Thompson, ex-Royal Marines Commando. Do you know what I like about Advance? There's a lot of real veterans in there who really know what needs to be done in the country. And as veterans, we, like everybody else, we pay a price as veterans. As people fell out with me back in 2017 for the stand I took, I actually ended up leaving my regimental page on Facebook before I got banned from Facebook, because it was I was just too divisive. The regiment was split into two camps. Half of them were on the right, half of them on the left. So and the likes of Richard Thompson, can't remember this guy's name, this parachute regiment guy, and then of course there's the SAS lad as well that's just joined. So we've got some really top quality veterans, and I think if well seasoned veterans that have been there, done it, worn the T-shirt, are joining a political party, that's a very good sign, Paul. Because veterans normally stay a bit aloof from politics. Like we don't want to get too involved in politics, but they know that it's the only solution to the problems that our country is facing. And the other thing is, when you've been, and of course many of these guys have been in far more combat than I've been in, but all of us have done active service. When you've been in active service, you know what's at stake when a country starts falling apart. So that's why a lot of these guys are doing what they're doing, and it's amazing.
Absolutely agree. Just looking through some of the chat. And what about Ben's speech? I mean, I described it, Richard, on Saturday evening as possibly the greatest political speech.
Which one? I mean, he made 3 speeches, basically. Man, and he spoke, he said he used notes, but he didn't really have notes. I was watching, he didn't have that many notes. He just did it, and he was just on it, and he gets it. Ben absolutely gets it. And I think if destiny and providence shines on Ben and on the party, in 50 years' time, people will be talking about Ben Habib in the same way they talked about Winston Churchill after the Second World War. And I don't say that lightly. I'm not one of these idiots that doesn't like. I think Winston Churchill was, as he was voted in 2000, the greatest Englishman that ever lived, and that's saying something, because there's been some pretty great Englishmen that have lived. But Ben Habib, he's up there. He's up there. People must never underestimate him, and his intellect, his calm, polite manner, a total gentleman, but also a man that's a man of the people. He understands the British working class. I don't think Rupert Lowe does. I don't think Nigel Farage does. I know for a fact Keir Starmer doesn't. And Zach Polanski, well, he understands. Well, I don't think he even understands the Muslim community, to be honest with you. But
I don't think he understands himself. I'll tell you something, Richard. People might find this interesting. I've been very lucky in my life, in my business life in particular. I've been extremely lucky, and I've worked with experienced millionaires, multi-millionaires, billionaires. I've experienced international footballers, international boxers. I've experienced politicians. I've experienced people from the showbiz world, and I've met so many people, so many really good people, but there's very, very few. I can count them on one hand. Those that are in that position or in positions of power that can truly relate to everyone, and that is willing and, more importantly, able to spend their time with people that may be considered to be beneath them, if that's the right expression. Spend their time, their effort, give them as much. I said the other day, Ben will give the ordinary man on the street as much time as he will the billionaire that's going to do business with him. Because I believe, what I like about Ben, I see something in Ben that I like to try and emulate myself. I like to listen to people, even if they're wrong. I like to listen because that is how I learn. And my dad told me when I was a kid, Paul, never be afraid of being wrong, because if someone proves you wrong, you've learned something.
Yep. Yeah.
So sometimes being wrong is a good thing. You go away and you think, you know what? I was wrong about that. I need to look at things in a different way. And Ben is capable of doing that.
Oh, totally.
So,
Totally.
I thought the day was absolutely fantastic. As I say, my big regret was not being there. I was literally itching and of course you wasn't answering your phone to me, because I'm only important to you when we're on live. So You know, I got the cold shoulder everyone Saturday, believe it or not. I think I sent him about 5 messages and didn't even get a bugger off. Nothing.
Well, Paul, do you know what I was doing? I
got one tick. That's what I got. Tick.
I was sitting in the 3rd row with Peter McElvenna and Vicky Richer, and the company was so great. When my phone was buzzing, I was just going, "That's just Thorpe," you know. And of course, when the speeches were on, I was clapping like a seal and jumping up and down and giving them standing ovations, you know. So I was just living the dream. I was enjoying myself, mate. I was enjoying myself. And fighting with lefties as well to boot, you know.
Do you know what, Richard? The big test for me, you're a hard man to impress. I've got to tell you, you know, I've known you for a couple of years now and we've been in some situations together and I think I know you fairly well. And I've got to say, you're not easy to please, right? Let's just put it that way.
I thought you were going to say I'm not easy to get on with.
No. I find you easy to get on with, you know, but I know a lot of people might not.
Do you know what? Do you know why that is, Paul? Do you remember the Muppet Show?
Yeah.
Do you remember the 2 old men that used to sit in the gods? The two old geezers sitting in the gods in the Muppet Show. That was me and you, Paul. Do you know what I mean?
But no, seriously.
If anybody in the chat knows that reference, let us know in the chat that you know who the 2 grumpy old geezers were on the Muppet Show.
Seriously, Richard, I'll tell you what, right? You know, to hear you buzzing like you was on Saturday night and speaking to you Sunday and obviously again tonight.
That was the 3 pints of Peroni, Paul. That's why I was buzzing, mate.
It says a lot. It says a lot because I know you're difficult to please. And I actually thought, you know what, when Richard comes back, he's going to be, well, you know, I've got my doubts, blah, 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 or he's going to be fairly happy. I didn't think you would be as impressed as you was, but it's hard not to be, wasn't it?
Paul, it's I can't express how much that is politically what I've been looking for as long as I can remember. You know, as long as I've been interested in politics, that's exactly the party that I'm looking for. I'm completely bowled over by it. Completely bowled over.
That was the Goldilocks speech, wasn't it? It was the Goldilocks speeches.
Totally the sweet spot. Totally the sweet spot. Absolutely.
Rodney's got it right. Look, he was there. Obviously, he was too busy gossiping with everyone. I reckon you're right, Rodney. I reckon that's about right, mate. Don't worry about that. We all know about Richard.
Oh, Rodney, you are a plonker.
Let's have a little look. Will I be able to make it for the 16th of May? Look, I'm really, you know, very, very tempted to come home before too long, but we'll just let's see how Slippery Starmer goes and let's see what happens in the next week or so. Never say never. There's not too many politicians worth listening to, but when Ben talks, I listen. Yeah, absolutely. Cole says, thank you, Cole. I still feel that we need Nick Tanconi to be a part of Advance or vice versa. Ben with UKIP, the right needs to unite. Look, the openings are there for everyone. You know, Richard's not going to say anything. I'd probably leave it at that, Richard, if I was you. Look, listen, I'd like to see everyone unite. You know me. I'm someone that likes to see unification. I like Nick Tanconi as a person. I don't think UKIP have got anywhere to go right now, but, you know, good luck to Nick, good luck to UKIP. You know, they're on our side. We should all be together. Sharon, watch the Advance 3 times. Love your speech, Paul. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Ben was fantastic. Did I get a round of applause, Rich? I think I got a little ripple, didn't I? Was that just you?
It was. I was trying to get them G'd up, Paul. I was trying to get them G'd up, but it was difficult. Do
you know what? No, you got the other way round. You know,
if you'd have been there in person, I'd have given you a standing ovation. But seeing as though you never turned up, I thought, well, I'm not going to stand up.
If it was you, I'd have booed. That's what I'd have done.
Well, listen, it wouldn't be the first time, would
it? Tish, billboards UK-wide with Advanced UK policies and website info for people who haven't heard of Ben. Ben for 10.
Ben for 10 is great. I love that little, you know, it's cheesy, but it's catchy. Ben for 10, I love it. It works.
I served Nick Timothy yesterday at work. Wish he would join Advance. He's wasted on Tories. Nice bloke.
Do you know what, Sharon? I said that to someone today. I know somebody that's going to be speaking to Nick Timothy very soon, and I sent him a message. I said, listen, can you... I know that sounds crazy because he's like shadow justice secretary for the Tory party, but you see, Nick Timothy would fit like hand in glove. I believe Nick Timothy's a very humble man. I believe he's a man of integrity. You see, not every MP's a total scumbag. My local MP's a great lad. He's a friend of mine. You know, not every MP's a wrong 'un, right? It's the ones that are in the party machinery that tend to go wrong. And I think Nick Timothy is definitely a man of integrity, even though I know he's involved with Theresa May, but he gets the Islam thing. He gets how dangerous what is going on in our country is. So again, I would love to see Nick Timothy come across to advance. Whether he would or not, I don't know. And to be honest with you, I think the way Ben's doing it, Ben's not really interested in recruiting anyone from any other party. But yeah, I think Sharon's right. I personally would like to. Yeah, there's Sharon saying he's lovely. He was chatting away, and I think that's how you know the measure of someone as well, isn't it, Paul? You know, when they're actually, you know, there's no camera on them, there's no one looking at them, and you know, one of us mere mortals is talking to them, and they're super chatty, you know.
June, thank you, and Guardian Mose, thank you. Hi, Paul, great speech, nice chatting with you. Richard made a new friend at conference. Lots of like-minded people. Rumour says next event in Bournemouth. All
right, okay. Well, Mo, listen, great speaking to you. I'll get your interview out soon, and thanks for keeping hold of that mic for me, because I was it kind of ruined half the event for me, not knowing where my mic was. You know what I mean?
And if anyone isn't already subscribed to Guardian Mo's channel, he has a great YouTube channel. He's got lots of videos on there. Great patriot, great guy. Please make sure you go over there and subscribe, show him some love and support. It's very important. It's very important that we support all the smaller patriot channels. And I'm not saying that Mo's is a smaller channel, but you know what I mean? You get the point, right? A channel without necessarily the 200,000-300,000 subscriber mark. It's really important that we support all these smaller channels, the new channels, the budding channels. The more the merrier. The more the merrier.
Well, Paul, do you know what? I'm just thinking about this, Paul, right? You've given Mo about a 5-minute shout out, quite rightly so, because he's got a great channel. When I mention Counter Media, it's like, oh yeah, subscribe to Counter Media. Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Subscribe to Counter Media whilst you're here. Richard, I was talking about small channels. Yours is
Counter Media is a small channel. Richard Inman's a big channel. It doesn't get any money. Counter Media is a small channel that needs to be a big channel.
I don't even know how many subscribers Mo's got. He's probably got more than me. I don't even know.
I'd say he's certainly got more than Counter Media for sure.
David Lunn, Attlee Labour, NHS. He was responsible for the NHS. Labour was responsible for the NHS. Listen,
Labour it's become an albatross around the UK people's neck.
Look, the thing is, the Labour Party of today bears no resemblance of the Labour Party of years gone by. In some
neither
ways
does the NHS. Neither does the NHS.
Yeah. Yeah, agree. Nick Timothy is on our page. That's the sort of politician that I would love to see. Politicians that are not necessarily interested in their careers; they're interested in their country, and that's why Suella disappointed me a little bit. You know, I like Suella, but going to Reform tells me, I don't know.
Everything you need to know.
Everything I need to know. Yeah.
Yep.
I wish Advance would do an event here in Portsmouth. I can't afford to travel.
Now, Paul, I'm going to have to love you and leave you shortly because I've got to dive on with. I'm in high demand tonight. I just want to check. As far as I know, I'm going on at 8:30, but I just want to check I haven't missed it by 5 minutes, and it was 8 o'clock. So let me just make sure David Vance doesn't chase me here. So just to give a little shout out, I'm going across to David Vance's channel at 8:30. So if everybody wants to dive across to David's channel,
that'd be good. Val,
I was joking, Paul. I was joking.
Val, by the way, the next event, remind me, Val, I'm going to make you an offer, Val, but you're going to have to remember because I will definitely forget. I'll remember when you remind me, but I won't. Otherwise, I'll forget. Richard, Val, the next advance event, wherever it is, I'm going to pay for you to go to that event. There you go. And I'm going to pay for accommodation overnight.
Well, is that the one that we're going to be doing in the Cayman Islands? Is that the Cayman Islands advance event? I'll have to talk to Ben about that.
As long as it's in the UK,
The
right?
Seychelles. Well, it could be, it could be in the Ritz.
Right, Val. So you keep me to that promise. Wherever it is in the UK, I'm going to pay for your transport. I'm going to buy you a train ticket or whatever you need to get there, and I'll put you up in a hotel somewhere. And I promise you, it won't be sharing a room with Richard. That would really put the blockers on it.
Behave yourself.
Don't forget. Right, Rich, shall we wrap it up then if you've got to...
Well, listen, I mean, I don't have to go just yet, Paul. I'm just giving you a bit of a warning order. We can do another 10 minutes if you want, just to round things up and finish things off. But, I mean, my summary there is very, very simple. We have, and I keep saying it, we've got those tools in that toolbox. And not that I'm saying the people that are running Advance are tools, but everybody knows what I mean. We've got the mechanism.
Don't need any tool makers, Richard.
We've had enough of tool makers. We don't want any more tool makers. My father was a tool maker. Oh my goodness. No. Who are we going to take the mick out of when Keir goes? I mean, it's going to be great. I hope Lammy gets to be Prime Minister just for the laugh. I think Lammy would be the most ridiculous Prime Minister that we've ever had. I'd like to say he's like a cross between Diane Abbott and Idi Amin. I think he'd be absolutely fantastic value for money.
Oh, I've got the bowler hat farmer here. He says, loving the show. Well done.
Listen, bowler hat farmer, mate, listen, your speech, I absolutely loved your speech, and you should have got a standing ovation, but everybody was worn out from doing too many standing ovations before you came on. Absolute gent and an absolutely brilliant speech. I loved every minute of it. Superb, mate.
Look at the family. This is our political family.
This is it.
All these wankers that have been halting our lives for years in the big house, right? I'll tell you a story about a lord. Here's a little story about a lord that I bumped into in Victoria Station.
Yeah.
This is how out of touch they are, and this shows the attitude. I won't name him, but he was on the train from Victoria back to Brighton. So there's a clue for anyone that knows, right? And this lord is standing outside Victoria Station. And
I was going to say, if he's going back to Brighton, is he Gaylord? Was it Gaylord? Is that the lord it was? Gaylord?
He's got his wallet and he's got it wide open like this outside Victoria Station. And in his wallet, I can see his driving licence, I can see his address, and I can see his parliamentary pass.
Well, that's because you just grabbed it out of his hand. Of course you could see it, Paul.
Well, no, this is a serious point, right? Serious point.
Okay, sorry.
I tapped him on the shoulder and I said, excuse me. I said, can I just say, you shouldn't really be doing that. I've just read, I said, you're okay with me, luckily enough, but I've just read your name, address, and the fact that you're a lord in the House of Commons, right? And he looked at me like I'd just asked his daughter out for a date, right? He was like, he had his nose stuck up in the air, and he sort of shuffled away and put his wallet back in his pocket. And about 10 minutes later, as we're waiting for the train, he did actually come over to me and he said, I must say, old boy, thank you for some very good advice, right? But it took him 10 minutes to realise that this pleb wasn't going to rob him, you know. I mean, God forbid a white guy with tattoos,
Well, it's like, it was one of those, Paul, when you went up to him, though, wasn't it, you know?
No, not at all, mate. You know me, I'm always, especially, that was when I was in the watch business, you know. And, you know, I've always been very wary of people in London flashing their wallets and, you know, this is his address. I mean, what is wrong with it? That's how out of touch they are. That's how out of touch.
I know.
Idea.
No idea whatsoever. And the thing is, if he gets rolled, he's just going to hand his wallet over anyway, isn't he? He's not going to fight for it because he's going to go, well, it's only like $3,000, you know what I mean? They take it, you know. But
it was the attitude for me giving him some nice advice. I said, excuse me, you know, you're flashing your wallet there, showing everyone your address. You know, I mean, it's not really a good idea, you know.
Well, I think Leo Kursk's best line was he says, you know what, we've got to do something about all these Somalians coming to London. They're ruining it. London's just not like Bangladesh anymore. and the whole place was in complete uproar. You know, he's a funny guy. You got to get him on the show, Paul. If you get him on the show, I want to come on it with it because he's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
Leo,
have to try and get him on. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And Kathy, is it Kathy Gingle? Is that how they pronounce it? Kathy Gingle.
Yeah.
Oh, what a speech she gave! I mean, just incredible. You know, mate.
Okay, all right, Nicola. I know I've asked for that one. Look, next advance event, South Georgia Island.
No, thanks, Nicola. I don't want to go to South Georgia.
That is absolutely my pleasure, Val. You are a regular. I know how dedicated you are, and it's the least I can do. I'd be more than happy to do that for you. Right, Richard, I think we will wrap it up because it is, let's have a look, 11 minutes past 9 here. This is my second live stream of the day, and my viewers are going to be very sick of my boat racifying around.
It's my second
this evening. So we've had a good crowd in again tonight. We've had well over 1,600 people in and out. Don't forget to hit the upvote and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Thank you so much for joining us. Let me double check that we've done all the supers. We have indeed. So, Richard, let's have a look. We are going to play our super duper outro, the one that gives you a copyright strike. I'm going to put this up before we go to bed, everyone, just in case anyone was thinking of having a good night's sleep.
I'm just glad I didn't I just had my dinner there, Paul, to be honest with you.
If anyone was thinking of having a good night's sleep and settling down with a cup of tea tonight, just put yourself a horror film on, or you know what it's like. Right,
well, it could be worse. You could be settling down with a ginger growler. I mean, that's that'd be the worst thing to do, wouldn't it?
I'm not a fan of you, Richard.
No, I'm not, mate. I'm not
a fan.
There's not a lot of good fruit that's going to be coming into Downing Street, is there? Lammy, the ginger growler, or banana mahmood. I mean, which one is it? You know?
Can you imagine that clip? I mean, if it was Lammy, that mastermind clip is going to get played to death everywhere, isn't it? It's going to, can you even imagine? Can you imagine?
Do you know, I don't think I've ever laughed so much or smiled so much on one of your live streams, Paul. We need to do those. We need to have those events once a week. You know what I mean?
Well, look, everyone's look. As I say, the commie bastard is on his way out. Right, that's the bottom line. He's going right, and that signals the start of the end for Labour. Full stop. They can't go the full term.
Well, they can, Paul. The problem is they actually can because of the only thing that might happen is if there's factionalism in the Labour and Labour splits. Yeah,
that's what I think is going to happen.
If the Labour Party splits, then we're in with a chance of getting them. I mean, what we want to see is the left. People talk about splits on the right. We want to see the left totally atomized and split into a million pieces. Because at the minute, it's a toss-up between Reform and Zach Polanski's party. You know, I mean, people have got to realise how dangerous the Green Party are. I never thought I would hear myself say that the Green Party was dangerous. Remember when we were young, Paul? We used to laugh at them. They're all standing, hugging, and licking trees. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now it's Hugger Jihadi. You know what I mean? So
it always makes me laugh. One of my favourite pictures is a picture I took down in Brighton outside one of the student places, right? And it had a great big poster in the window, "Vote Green." And outside in the drive was about 8,000 empty cans and shit and muck everywhere. There weren't very much green going on in that household, I'll tell you. I don't suppose there was a bar of soap between the lot of them. Oh, dear. Right. Good night, everyone. Have a great evening, what's left of it, and we'll see you soon.